G'day everyone, this is that concerned guy. For this clip, I'd like to discuss on the topic of progressivism in today's modern Western civilization. Progressivism. Well, is it really progressive? I mean, progressivism in regards to today's liberal trends and activism. Things such as, well, of course, second wave feminism, third wave feminism, or even fourth wave feminism, open borders, multiculturalism. Yes, LGBTQ, whatever. Really, is this all really progressive? I mean, many people these days, they just follow the herd, just because something is in the trend, and they don't really stop to think twice on what they really or what really they are believing in, or if they really believe in something like these, they really believe it fully in heart. I mean, yeah, well, obviously many of us know that today's feminism has disrupted the traditional family unit. And, with today's modern family, both parents are working longer hours, and the kids are usually being placed into daycare centers or whatever, after school hours care, and families don't have much quality family time with one another. And it's, not just that, it's Western civilization has lost its core stability. In like today's progressive culture, it is now acceptable to be guilty of European / Western civilization / achievements, and the history. Well, as they know it as white guilt. I mean, every civilization has its demons. Doesn't matter if it's Western civilization or European historical wars or whatever, conquest, colonization, or even before that, the Islamic conquest of the Muslim crusade or whatever, or African slavery amongst Africans. A lot of today's mainstream historians and authors tend to neglect to mention about the atrocities that certain African groups have caused upon other African groups. They practice slavery amongst each other. And plus, of course, there were Islamic practices in slavery that occurred in Africa. In today's mainstream education and mainstream historical programs on the TV or pay TV or whatever, it's always about condemning the whites who practice black slavery in the USA or Brazil or Cuba or whatever. Yes, it is terrible. Of course it's terrible. it's to do that to another human being, to other human beings. A justification just because it's, slavery was condoned, as it was mentioned in the Bible, the Christian Bible, and also this Islamic practice in slavery, which was mentioned in the Quran, that slavery is justified. But in mainstream history classes and historical programs on TV or the media, they tend to neglect to emphasize also that slavery was practiced even before the rise of the Western civilization or Western powers. Before the rise of the English colonization or the Spanish conquistadors or whatever. Things like that. The point I'm trying to get at is all these progressive ideals and liberal narratives is all these are just trying to cover the real issues that really what these progressives believe in. They stubbornly believe that Western civilization is so evil and so bad and all that it deserves to be undermined, and that the Western patriarchy is evil, blah blah blah, and all these progressive gargles are just basically following the herd and not really understanding what they really are believing in, and it's and also advocating for open borders and multiculturalism is only further dismantling the core structure of Western civilization, such as Australia, Canada, USA, Western Europe, etc. And the more white people are now having less kids and even having no kids at all, and yet the aging population's happening in Western countries. Aging population is rising, but at the same time they want to have open borders and have all these different ethnicities, races coming into Western countries, and gradually the white populations of these Western countries are becoming a minority in their own countries, and these progressives don't want to see that this is a demographic, this is a real big demographic change, and Western families are getting smaller, and as I said before, having only 2 or 3 kids, if that, or having no kids at all, and the rise of more men not getting married at all due to the obvious gynocentric, feminist controlled institutions in Western society, such as the family courtrooms, the media, education systems, etc., biased always against straight males. It's always oppressing. It's a new oppression against straight males, particularly white males. So, and at the same time, they want to welcome so-called refugees into their countries. And these refugees, especially from those from more Middle Eastern origins or African origins, tend to have more kids compared to whites. And unfortunately, a large number of these number of people in these groups are on the welfare system, and having more kids, they get more welfare benefits for the children and all that. And at the same time, a number of these people segregating themselves from mainstream Western society instead of adopting and respecting Western values and laws of their host countries. So a form of balkanization is happening. Of course, there are those who do assimilate and respect the laws and culture of their host countries. Of course, there are. But there are also a large number of these who just cannot or will not assimilate or integrate or whatever. So it's this all, and and also this transgenderism and all that stuff. That's all been promoted amongst the white people, the white demographic, compared to trying to place this upon those of other ethnicities. So yeah, that means less. So that decreases the number of babies being born amongst the white population. So yes, bullshit. It is a sad state, and the future doesn't look bright for the modern Western civilization. I don't know, things will get worse, a lot worse before things start to get better. Don't even know if that will happen either. Anyway, this is just a talk for this clip for today, and if you like this kind of topics, clips, whatever, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you next time. Mabuhay.